Shalom, shalom, shalom. Priest Sabak, H.O.I to the Chariots fly.
Brother Nala.
And y'all already know. When y'all see this kind of background, y'all already know we back at it with another movie review. A good, nice fall. Nice night for the fall. Right? Feast of Tabernacles season, good old-fashioned movie review. So what we doing today, Nala?
We doing The Creator.
The Creator. This is another one that kind of snuck up on us. All right, and you can't make this up. All right, you know what I'm saying? You got Moab on the end.
Right. We're gonna get into Moab.
Walking with Esau right here.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Moab.
Right, we're gonna get into it. Right. So this one I think was directed by Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards or something like that. I forget the name offhand. But and that's funny because it got a lot of Moabite influence in it.
Right.
And we're going to get into some of that. So tonight we're reviewing The Creator. All right. The movie is called The Creator. Today is October 3rd, 2023. Tonight is also the 6th night of the Feast of Tabernacles 2023. And it's also exactly 7 years ago in the same spot, almost to the date, and the same day, I think it was the 5th or 6th night of the Feast of Tabernacles, we did the movie Birth of a Nation movie review. Exactly 7 years ago, almost to the date in the same spot. And it was also the Feast of Tabernacles, and I believe it was either the 5th or 6th night of the Feast of Tabernacles. It might have been the 7th, but I know Sabal was on that movie review with us, and we were talking about the closing. When we finished doing a review, me and Sabal were talking about, what we're doing for the closing. All right, so tonight the movie is called The Creator. I think it came out on September 29th, last Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, it just came out, which was the 2nd night of Feast of Tabernacles. So the movie is called The Creator, which, when you really look into the deep layers of it, it's basically, it's so many layers like all the movies, right? The Creator is who's the Most High, right? The scriptures tell you in Romans 1:25, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever, amen. Meaning the Most High is the Creator, he's blessed forever, amen. So of course the movie is a spin on the Most High. When you get into the layers of it, it's called The Creator, and they had a word in here which like we normally do, me and Allah, we normally don't really watch anything about the movie, except maybe the trailer, and we see that it's something that can be biblical, and we break it down. I cheated a little bit, and I checked out a little bit of the plot of the movie, and around the same time you mentioned it to me, I had saw like 30 seconds of the trailer, and I was like, just the title alone and that 30 seconds, I said, I didn't even know what it was about either. I said, that would be interesting. But then I cheated a little bit. I looked up the plot and, things of that nature. But that's all I did. I just read about one paragraph of the plot, and that was it. So, spoiler alert before we start to go in. Spoiler alert. You brothers and sisters have not seen this movie, definitely check it out. Definitely check this movie out before, you watch the preview, and check it out and come back and check out the preview and a commentary of what we're talking about. So of course the movie is called The Creator. The movie is based upon the so-called war between the human race and AI, which is artificial intelligence. But when you look at it subliminally, the war is really Esau, America, the so-called white race, against AI, which also can represent army of Israel. Now when you in certain aspects of the English language, they don't use all 3 letters when they're describing something. They might, if it's army of Israel, they might leave the O out, and just say AI stands for army of Israel, right? And it's really, when you really look at the movie, it's really going into the subliminal war, which is not really subliminal. It's going against Esau against Jacob. That's what it's really going into. The humans, which Esau is not even really a human, but the humans are headed up by the United States of America, which is Esau. The U.S. is Esau. The AI, right, you might say is an artificial intelligence. It was the machines they created It kind of reminds me of the movie I, Robot.
Right.
When they said they created the machines, but the machines have gotten out of hand.
Right.
And I don't want to jump the gun, but there's a part where one of the robots makes a speech. And then you're going to see why the AI also represents, not also, but really represents Army of Israel.
Right.
All right. So they had us. They were looking for this person, the Narmata.
Right.
The Narmata basically was the creator of artificial intelligence that's worshipped like, and that's looked at as a savior or a god.
Right.
All right. Now, the reason why I say AI is Army of Israel is because if the creator of AI is looked at as a savior,
right,
or the Army of Israel, who's the creator of the nation of Israel?
Right.
Who's the savior that comes out of the nation of Israel?
Right.
Who's the savior that comes? Who's the God that directs the Army of Israel?
Right.
Because the true Army of Israel are the angels.
Right.
The army is coming from the angelic forces in the heaven.
God.
Right. So basically, when you check out the beginning of the movie, it's telling you that it's basically talking about the Most High Yahweh, the angels of the nation of Israel.
God.
It jumps off from, it jumps off at the gate. I'm letting you know that. Right. Now, in the beginning of the movie, what they do is classic in New York.
Yeah. That's some AI.
You can't make this up.
AI stuff right now.
Some AI stuff right there. You can't make this up. Okay?
And it's damn Tuesday night, Jake. Jake is in.
Yeah. But you know what it was? It was 80 degrees today.
Okay, yeah.
So they trying to get the last
and
one of
all
the
that blasting at me is just look at me.
Right.
Yeah, damn, Jake.
Tuesday night is 12:14.
Yeah, go to at least the weekend. Yeah.
Right.
Who you showing off for?
So in the beginning, right? In the beginning of the movie, the humans, the America, the U.S. Army,
right,
U.S. government, they say we created the AI to help us, but the AI turned on us,
right,
and they caused a nuclear destruction in Los Angeles that killed over 1 million people. But later on in the movie, you're going to find out that that was a lie.
Right.
All right, that really Esau created his own nuclear destruction.
Right.
Which in Isaiah 54, 16 on down, the Most High tells you He created the waster to destroy.
Right.
We did that. We did. Me and Rob Judah did the Oppenheimer review.
Right.
All right, and that basically goes into how Oppenheimer and Einstein said we may have created our own destruction.
Right.
So they blamed it on an AI, which is really Israel.
Right.
AI represents Israel.
Army of Israel. Right. Shout out Maharka.
Right, shout out AOI, right? But they just cut it down to AI because they want you to think it's about an artificial intelligence.
Right.
But it's really the Army of Israel. Shout out to Maharka. Right? Army of Israel Infantry.
Right.
Right? But is the Army of Israel without the O.
Right.
Right? So they have this big nuclear scene in the beginning, and that's another thing. They have massive nuclear missile scenes in the movie.
Right,
because Esau, he's just coming out more and more blatant with it.
Right.
He can't hold it no more. He's letting you know that's going to be the future of my destruction.
Right.
All right. And when you check it out, they're constantly saying that they're going to go to war with China. Even though they're pandering to China in this movie, and they're pandering to the Asian community in general, because the movie actually has Asian subtitles, right? And it's like a love-hate thing.
Right.
They hate and they're jealous of China, but at the same time, they want to pander to them.
Right.
Now remember we did Knock at the Cabin? Remember they pandered to Moab.
Right, with the adopted daughter.
With the adopted daughter. And remember at the end of the movie, well, first of all, when they went to the orphanage in China to adopt her, they had a white image of Christ. Right at the orphanage. And then at the end of the movie, when the sodomite lover died, you know, of course, they saved the world by the sodomite saved the world by sacrificing himself. Right. And then who was left? It was the other sodomite and the Asian, the white man and the Asian woman. So they're pandering heavy to Moab in these movies, right? So one of the themes of the movie too, they had to throw the monkey wrench in there. Right. Now the star of the movie, believe it or not, is a black man. Right. what's the name? John
David Washington. Denzel Washington's son. Yeah.
That man eerily sounds like his father.
He just, the voice is the same.
The reason why I say eerily, because if you close your eyes,
it's Denzel. Right. He got he looks like the mother. If you see Denzel's wife,
right, yeah,
he takes on the mother's look.
Like, I see Denzel's wife,
but he got his voice.
Yeah, he got, it's scary, man.
Yes.
It's scary. You know what I'm saying? The man, he takes on his mother's look, but his father's voice. Like I said, if you close your eyes,
it's Denzel.
It's Denzel, right? I just gotta throw this in there. One of the disgusting plots of the movie is the black man trying to save the Asian woman.
Right.
Is so much pandering to the Asians in this movie. It's ridiculous. But even with all the biblical layers to it, they gonna still make the black man look like, nigga, only way you survive is you save the Asian woman and child. You gotta save the Asian woman and child, but there's layers to that. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but you know, it's just this. Every time the so-called black man is in a movie, the only way he survives is by catering to another nation. Right. The black could never be. I think he was the only black man in the movie.
There wasn't even a side character.
There was a sister.
Right.
But she works for the government.
Yeah.
There was a sister with an afro too.
Right. No principal characters were black.
Right. No principal characters were black. And it was the only other black person I saw was the black woman that worked for the U.S. Army. And notice they didn't have no kind of dynamic with them two together. Right. But it's that save the other nations, black man. Right. If you are to be in our future world, you got to be saving us. Right. It's always that underlying plot. Even though there's layers to that, like I said. It reminds me of Jeezy, right?
Oh yeah,
he divorced his Asian woman.
Jeannie Mai.
Right, yeah. And when you check it out, just on a side note, Jeezy is, they said one of the reasons why him and his wife are, his Asian wife is divorcing because of cultural differences. Right. The cultures just don't match. Right. Even Charleston White said that. As bugged out as he is, he said we should not race mix because it messes up the children.
One of the layers that came out is that she's Vietnamese, and they have a thing with when you're successful and you have a big house, the whole family moving in. So basically, it's him living with a bunch of Vietnamese people, and that made him uncomfortable. And she wasn't willing to budge on that. That's her culture. That the grandma gonna be here, cousins gonna be here, aunties gonna be here. We all gonna eat together and all that. And he probably like, I ain't really. I'm just messing with you. I ain't trying to mess with your family every day like that.
And that's in Asian culture. Yeah. I remember I went on a field trip with my daughter. Right. When she was back, my oldest daughter, Zaquana, back when she was in maybe like 4th grade. Right. And she had a Simeonite teacher. A Simeonite teacher was very well read. Right. So she took us to like this Chinese museum. Right. And she was breaking down how the Asian household worked. Right. And it said a lot of times when it's mainly when the bride marries the groom. Right. He moves the bride out into the house, into him and his family's house. Right. But they did the reversal on Jesus. Right. They said, you marry our daughter, we all move in. Yeah. And I think they even said, Jesus said, well, damn, her mother was living here. Yeah. Then her brother just comes out of nowhere. And you know, Jake. Yeah. Sometimes Jake like, yo. Yeah. This is our house. Yeah, I ain't asked for all this. With you. I ain't dealing with all them. Yeah. So even the brother Charleston White said, you know, Charleston White is all over. Yeah. But he was like, you can't be effing these other cultures. Right. We don't mix. It's a cultural difference. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Denzel's son, David Washington, yes, he's got to save the Asian woman, but there's layers to that. So there's a scene where the U.S. Army comes to invade the artificial intelligence in Asia, right, to destroy one of the most powerful AI strongholds in Asia. Now notice they called it New Asia, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Right. I don't want to jump the gun, right? When there was a white woman military general, right, and she said She made a statement, yes. She said we created the AI to be our allies or something like that. I'm roughly paraphrasing. But she said they became so strong and they became very strong and powerful.
Yeah.
But she said they weren't as smart as us. They wasn't as smart as us. And what did she say? She said, so we raped and murdered them out of existence.
Right, God.
So
you know what they talking about. God.
You know what I'm saying? That's like when Israel multiplied in Egypt.
Right.
And the Pharaoh said, damn, they becoming too mighty.
Right.
Same thing here in Babylon. One of the reasons crack was created because they said, George Senior Bush made a statement and said, the Negroes with their culture and music and lifestyle becoming an influence on our children. We must get in the 70s with the disco and everything, and you know, the upcoming R&B and the bell bottoms and the afro. They said the Negro culture is becoming too dominant amongst our people. Right. So we need something to create a genocide on them. We need something to destroy these people. Same thing. She said they became very powerful, something to that effect. But we're smarter than them. No, you're more violent and bloody. That's what you are. And that's another thing. All throughout the movie, Esau was raw. The United States Army was raw. They were some raw killers. And that's Genesis the 27th chapter. It says Esau would live by his sword. Everything is bloodshed with this man. Man wanted to kill a puppy, wanted to kill children, wanted to kill the elderly, wanted to kill everybody. Because he's a bloody and violent man. Right. I remember one time, I don't know if you was there, but we was in a camp and we asked the Edomite, we said, listen, who's going to be honest in the crowd? Who's going to be honest? Right. How did your ancestors get this land? Right. He said, we basically slaughtered the hell out of the Native Americans and took it. Right. Esau said that honest, to our face. Right, with a smirk on his face. He said, I'm telling the truth. Right. That's what happened. I'm telling the truth. Right. You know what I'm saying? So she basically said, we raped and murdered them out of existence. Really, what they're saying is they want to exterminate the children of Israel. Right. Right? And like they want to do now. Right? Another little subliminal, all right, another little subliminal they do in there. Now, once Denzel's character, by the way, Denzel's son. Right. I said Denzel. Once his son's character finds out the mission, you know, his wife dies, the Asian woman dies in a nuclear attack on the AI in Asia. And they discover this weapon, this secret weapon that the AI have is this child that they created that has like spiritual powers and can help save the AI people, which we're going to go into later on the trial. So they bring Denzel's son, John, his character, which was named Joshua. They bring him on a mission to invade and get this child. Because this child is the only hope of the AI. Like H.O.I is the only hope of the army of Israel. All right, so there was a scene though when he starts to talk to the child. He nicknamed the child Alfie. So they find out, get the child. He's the weapon. He's the one with all the power. He's the one that can save the AI people. So there was a scene though where him and Joshua are talking. And he said, if you're not a robot, where did you come from? So he said, I came from my mother and father, but they're dead. But right after the little Asian, well, I keep saying the child was a girl actually. He nicknamed the girl Alfie, which there's a layer to that. The child was a girl, Salakia. But she asked him, if you're not a robot, if you're not AI, where did you come from? He said, I come from my mother and father. But right when she asked him, where do you come from, they switched to a scene of monkeys.
Yeah, I peeped that.
I was like, what the hell does that have to do? So basically, the only black man in the movie. When the Asian child asks him where he come from, you switch to a scene of monkeys.
Little slick stuff they threw in the middle.
And it was real quick. Like, what is that? But then it switched back to him, and he said, well, I come from my mother and father, but they're deceased. But I caught that. And a lot of the Asians are the ones that call us monkeys. They're the ones that call black people monkeys, so I caught that.
Bathing apes.
Bathing apes, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that,
an Asian. That's an Asian brand.
Niggas was paying $65 for that shirt.
Yeah.
Paying $70 for the hat.
God.
For a bathing ape, right? So now back to the part where they was calling the land Asia.
Right.
I think it cut from like they were showing at the robots because they had commercials about robots from the 50s,
right?
You know, from throughout time, but it went from the 50s up to modern time, and then it jumped to the future,
right?
Beginning of the movie. So it said a new Asia 2065,
right? Which
would have been a long advancement in the AI technology.
Right.
That's basically what they was going into. It would be a very long advancement in the AI technology. But notice they called it New Asia.
Right.
It was all these so-called Asian people. Right? But the people more so had like a Vietnamese type vibe as opposed to like China or whatever.
They had that South Asian.
That like that South Asian type the niggers of their society.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But notice they called it New Asia. I just wanted to throw that in there because after 9/11, the conspiracy theorists came out and brought out that China started their New World Order right after 9/11, like around 2022, 2023. They started the beginning stages of their New World Order. Hence, New Asia 2065, right? So, they jumped for it. There's a lot of parts, but I want to skip to another main part that I caught. It said, when they was in like this Southeast Asia type area, more so Vietnamese looking. One of the Southeast Asian AI, he made a statement and he said they blamed us for destroying them, but they destroyed themselves, and that's what Esau does. Every problem, every social problem in this society, has got to do with the nigga. They show you that in the movie watch the movie Bad Lieutenant, Port of New Orleans. What's the crazy guy? Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage plays in there. There's a scene where he pulls a gun out on an elderly black woman, puts it to her head, and said, "Your fucking people, excuse my language, your fucking people are the reason for the decline of this country." So we knowing that the AI represents really the army of Israel. They're basically saying that even the nuclear destruction, anything, the most major destruction or product that can happen with Esau, he's always going to blame it on us. And then the AI said, no, we didn't do it to y'all, y'all did it to yourselves. And that's St. Mark 3:22, where Yahweh Shah said, a kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. So Esau is going to bring about his own destruction. They show you that in the movie Oppenheimer, right? Now here's you had went to the concession when this part came on. There was a part where the robot basically said, the AI basically said, they created us to be slaves, but he said our Savior is coming soon to deliver us from being slaves and to destroy all of our enemies and stop all wars on the earth.
You know what?
The AI
said,
you
know that
army
is
of Israel. Right? And now check it in chapter, right? In James the 4th chapter, it tells you that the rich have oppressed the poor, and the cries of the poor have gone up to the Lord of Sabaoth. Right? When you look up that word Sabaoth, it's not Sabbath, it's Sabaoth. It means of Lord of hosts, or Lord of the armies of heaven. So when it says our Creator is coming to deliver us and destroy the armies of this world, what is the Most High sending Yahweh Shah to do? Destroy all the armies, bring peace on the earth. Remember Isaiah the 9th chapter, one of Yahweh Shah's title is the Prince of Peace. He's coming to destroy. And in Isaiah 2 it says nation not going to know war anymore. So the AI is the army of Israel. That's the army of the Lord. That's the Lord of hosts, right? Starting with Yahweh Shah the angels and down to Israel on the earth. So when you check it out, everything as far as invading the AI was the U.S. Army. So when you read in Micah, that's what the Lord said, thou shalt go even to Babylon, there shalt thou be delivered, because America's the main focal point. And when you look at a lot of the vehicles that said U.S. Army, they wasn't green like the regular tanks and stuff like that. They were like blue and white.
Right.
They were almost like police colors. Because it's showing you that's what America's becoming. It's they kind of toyed with that idea in that movie. It was like a semi-cartoon movie.
Right.
World Police, Team USA.
Team
World
USA.
Police. Yeah, World Police, where even after 9/11 and before, America is just one occupying army. From the lowest level of law enforcement up to the highest. It's just all one army. Right? It's all one occupying army. And when they were invading when they were invading the New Asia, the stronghold of the AI, Army of Israel, it was the U.S. Army. But the vehicles were in colors that looked like it could be the Baltimore Police Department or NYPD. It looked like police, but it said U.S. Army. Right. Because they're letting you know they're one occupying army, and they think they're going to police the world. Team USA, World Police. Right. So the focal point is America. Thou shalt even go to Babylon, there shall I deliver thee. Right. Right. So so when you check it out now with John David Washington, right? His name was Joshua in the movie. Right. Joshua is a variation of Yahushua. Yep. It's basically the same thing, right? It's just the Most High said in Exodus that his name would be in Yahushua's name. That's why it's spelled Yahushua. Right. But Joshua and Jesus is one and the same. Right. Now his name is Joshua. Right. Remember, there was a part where the AI, one of the AI leaders on New Asia, he said, your DNA created the child. Right. Remember, the child was the only one that could save the AI. Which the child was Asian or so-called Oriental, whatever the case may be. But it said, your DNA created the child. The child was a female. So that was a reversal of Mary and Joseph. The child, which is a female, supposed to be the woman that's bringing forth the child to save the children of Israel, but they did a role reversal, right? Because it would have been too obvious, you know. Right. But notice the child was a female, and then the parent that brought the main parent that they was dealing with that brought forth the child was a male, right? But his name was Joshua, right? Now they played with the child's name, and he gave her a name Alfie. Right, or something like that. Yeah. But that was kind of a spin on Mary and Joseph. Right. Instead of Mary being a mother that brought forth the child that was going to save the people, it was the man that brought forth the child that was going to save the people. But the child was a female. Right. And the parent was a male. Right. So as they go now, they fast forward. Now the child's mother, Alfie, his mother's a Asian woman also. And come to find out, she was the narrator. Right. Am I pronouncing it right? The Namata. Right. She was the Namata. She was supposed to be the Namata, or connected to the Namata, the creator of the AI. Right. That's looked up to like a god or a savior. Right. So really now is going into the layer of her womb bringing forth the child that was to be the savior of the world. Right. But now remember, one of Yahushua's grandmothers was Ruth. Right. All right. So I don't want to jump the gun because I'm gonna get back to that. But there's a scene when Joshua goes up up on this mountain. Right. And it looks like a giant gold chariot where they got her body laying in. Right. It looks like a giant gold chariot and is on top of a mountain. Right. But it tells you in Zechariah, when the Messiah comes, he's gonna go up to a top mountain, right? To the top of a mountain, right? And then, the chariot's gonna come down, deliver Israel. So that was a play on that, right? And remember when he came to that mountain with that like chariot thing, right? It actually ended up being like a monument, but it looked like a chariot, right? But remember when the guard met him at the gate of that monument, right? He said, oh, you thought that, like we were saying she's in a place. Right. She's actually in heaven. Right. Which the dome, that giant monument, was like a chariot on top of a mountain. Right. Carrying Israel to the kingdom of heaven. All right? Because the Christians say you got to die to go to heaven. Right. But you die to go to the spirit world. But the kingdom of heaven, Yahushua's coming with the chariots to take us there. Right? So now it goes deeper and deeper, right? Now Joshua and Joshua and the Asian mother,
right,
they came together to make this savior child.
Right.
But the child's mother's name was Maya.
Right.
Mary and Joseph. It's
right.
a play on Mary and Joseph.
Right.
Because the name Maya, when you look at Maya, depending on how you spell it, it has 3 letters of Mary in there.
Right.
If you spell it M-I-Y-A, the M, the Y, and the A is in Mary.
Right.
Right. If you spell it M-Y-A, the M-Y and A is in Mary.
Right.
So Joshua and Maya is really Mary and Joseph.
God.
Right.
Right.
But Mary and Joseph brought forth Yahushua Jesus,
right,
which was the Savior of the world.
So
Mary and Joseph, Joshua and Maya, Mary and Joseph brought forth. I gotta look into that Alfie. So why was he calling him Alfie?
Because I don't know if you missed that part, but he was asking him, "What is your name? What is your name?" And his name was written on his ear. Maybe you missed that part because it happened real quick. He said, "It says Alpha Omega." He said, "I just call you Alfie for short."
Yeah,
right.
There you go. There you go. Bring it home.
Right.
Yahweh say? Revelation.
Right.
He said Revelation, I think, is 1 and 5. I am Alpha and Omega.
Right.
Right. The first chapter, either 5, 7, or 9. One of them verses.
Right.
Right. So there it is. I think I missed that part.
Yeah.
And I just saw the part when he said, "I'm gonna just call you Alpha."
Yeah. He read. It was written. Yeah.
So Mary, Maya, and Joseph, Joshua, got together to bring forth Yahweh.
Right.
Right. The Alpha and Omega. Right. Which is for Greek for first and last, or Hebrew I and Tha, the beginning and the end.
Right.
All right. So now Maya also can symbolize like a Ruth type character. Remember, Ruth was a Moabite.
Right.
There's an entire book of the Bible dedicated to her.
Right.
She was a Moabite, and Ruth brought forth, her and Boaz brought forth Obed.
Right.
Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of David.
Right.
And through David's lineage came Yahushua.
Right.
So the Asian spin was in there, but you can throw it, you can see that Ruth element,
right, that
layer that they playing with, and also the Jesus, Mary, and Joseph that they're playing with.
Right.
All right. So when you check it out, they built what was that thing called? Nomad?
The Nomad, yeah.
They built the Nomad. Kind of reminds you of NORAD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they built the Nomad, and the Nomad basically, you might as well say it was a giant nuclear station.
Right.
And this was to bring nuclear war upon all the AIs all over the earth.
Right.
Now, when you check it out, when you check out the spin on that, that's Esau basically trying to say, like, he's going to bring nuclear destruction upon Jacob and destroy us. When really is the Most High Yahushua and the angels defending Israel, because we ain't got no nuclear weapons.
Right, not at all.
Basically, Esau, he's spinning his fate to where we're going to declare nuclear war on the niggas.
Right.
And Esau, in his mind, if he could do that, he would try.
Right,
we're going to declare nuclear war and reverse the prophecy.
Right.
We're going to shoot nukes everywhere where the niggas are.
They had all these, like a bunch of nukes, almost like in an assembly line of nukes.
Right.
And if Esau could do that now, he would hit every project in the country. He'll hit the pig houses, Fort Greene, Marcy.
Every hood.
Yeah. Cabrini Green, that's gone already, but
every
God.
And see, he made it look like different nations, but remember, the target was the AI.
Right.
To destroy all the AI, to destroy all the army of Israelites all over the earth. Because we like the sand of the sea. So, one or two more things. There's so many layers, but one or two more things. Like I said, with the Maya, Joseph. Maya, Joshua, and Alpha and Omega. Right. That's all a play on Mary, Joseph, and Yahushua. Right. And Ruth. Ruth, which was one of the 4 grandmothers of Yahushua. Right. Coming through the line of David. Right. Boaz impregnated her. And remember, the seed goes by the man. The man. Right. You got your only nigga. That's it.
Oh, here come Amalek. Amalek coming.
No, the seed is of. The bastard child. Right. When you check it out, we know and understand and see according to scriptures, the seed is of the man. Right. So if kosher cigarette, right? So if Boaz seed went through Ruth, which was a Moabitess, it's still, the seed is still Judah.
Right.
So going through Boaz lineage all the way down to Yahushua,
right.
The seed. So they toyed with that.
Right.
The whole Maya, Joshua, and Alpha and Omega.
Right.
All right. So that's just a little something on the Creator movie.
Excellent. Great.
At the end of the day, they really trying to say they want to destroy the Most High. Because they wanted to destroy the creator of the artificial intelligence, or the AI, or the army of Israel.
Right.
Who would be the creator of the army of Israel? Because remember, army also goes into nation. When you read Exodus 12, it said we came out of Egypt by our army.
Yeah.
So they wanted to destroy the creator of the nation of Israel.
Right.
So the movie is really saying they want to try to destroy the Most High. The creator. It's kind of a play on iRobot,
right?
Elysium, Battle LA,
right?
And a few different. They got a few.
Yeah, it's a gumbo of.
It's a conglomerate
of a lot of those.
Movies.
Different movies. Yeah.
Of other movies, but the creator,
right?
By
Shema Mashiach.
Got anything to add, Nala?
Okay, I'll throw my little 2 cents in there. You can, as usual, as you always do in the movie reviews, excellent breakdown, excellent analysis. A lot of the stuff I was going to say you said it already, but there's a few things I'll add in there in the mix too. First of all, I say that it's how you mentioned earlier. No, it's okay. It's right, thank you. Peace, sister. As you said, when you brought the 7 years since we did a review in this particular theater in Union Square, it's also a little, I call that like spiritual coincidences. It's also sort of a spiritual coincidence that the last movie review that you did was Oppenheimer, dealing with the nuclear war of the past, with the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, was dealing with Ammon, but is dealing with the Asians with nuclear weapons. So fast forward to this review which you did with Robert Judah on the West Coast, the East Coast, you almost have another version of that with going into nuclear fire, but something that's supposed to be in the future. So it's a good bookend between the two reviews, Oppenheimer and the creator. And Oppenheimer was the creator of the bomb. Of the atomic bomb. Right, so that's a little coincidence that's kind of tied into that.
You play it back, it's like the creator Oppenheimer.
Right. The creator. Yeah. So it's some of those coincidences that tie in like that.
And then real quick, the last movie we did here exactly 7 years ago, almost to the date.
Right.
Was The Birth of a
Nation, right.
Which was based upon slaves trying to become free.
Right.
And in the creator, the AI said we were created to be slaves, but our Savior is coming to deliver us from being slaves, destroy our enemies, and stop all wars on the earth.
Right.
7 years later,
you can't make this up. So the next thing observation I want to go to is that like you brought up the movies, that it's a conglomerate of a different type of movies. The spin Esau did that was different, that makes this separate from those movies, is usually in those movies, I'll say the biggest one out of that is the Terminator. The Terminator is a robot that's sent from the future, because the same theme. We're in the future, artificial intelligence has taken over the planet, and humans are trying to fight against the artificial intelligence. And the Terminator movie is about Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, had an ability to send a robot to the past to kill it before it starts. And there was another Jake, he played, I forgot the actor's name, where he's the creator of that. He had the hand, the Terminator. He had to destroy it. Of course, they killed Jake. They blew his ass up. His name is something Morton. I can't. I'll look it up to add it in later. But of course, he was like, when you remember that scene in Terminator 2? So to tie that in, this is the spin the spin that Esau did as far as this version. He switched it and made the robots the good guys. Right, he made, even though Arnold Schwarzenegger was a good guy, he still was representing that the AI needs to be stopped. Right, so even he was just one good guy that was sent by the humans in Terminator 2, not Terminator 1. Right. But moving on from that, the robots, the spin Esau did that's different, he made the robots look like they need to be saved, right, and not the not the humans. The humans turned out to be the evil ones. Right, right. So that's a very big spin on it, right, because it's deep. You can peel that part of it alone, because it's almost saying that humans are so corrupt and they're so evil that the actual AI, which is, you know, another way of saying it, calling them robots, that's a generic way of saying it. They're artificial beings, a robot, is actually more pure in spirit. And to add it on that, another thing that really stuck out in this movie is they're trying to show you, to add on to that they represent the chosen people, that these artificial means it's not real. They have love. Love is of the Most High. They have spirits, because it was like humans became loveless. They became brutal killers. Right. And the robots, the artificial intelligence, they got love in their hearts. Right. They freaking crying. He's like, please don't leave me. Why does a robot have a heart? Like, they're not real. That's mechanical, but yet they have the heart. On top of the fact that they had love, the robot kept asking them, it kept coming up in the movie. He said, am I going to go to heaven? Am I going to go to heaven? Right, right. What does a robot need with heaven? Right. A robot is mechanical.
Are you going to heaven?
No. You gotta be a good person to go to heaven.
So, we're the same. We can't go to heaven because you're not good. And I'm not a person.
In order to get to heaven, you would have to have a spirit. Right, right. So that's the big spin on this movie, is they gave the robots inherited spirits where the humans lost their spirit. Right, right, and right. They're showing you that in the robots wanted to go to an afterlife. He kept telling them, right, even the kingdom. Right. So he kept asking Denzel's son, John David Washington, are we going to be there together? Right. Like, are we right. So that was sticking out to me real, but I'm right. Like, you are effing robot. Like, you mechanical. What you worried about heaven for? Why is that even a concern of yours? It's deep, because he's telling a lot of little things there. He's saying that almost like, okay, this is another little Esau master mantra. We did so many of these movies. Let's say, because ultimately he's trying to save himself. I'm talking about Esau, the people in real life, the writers. Let's see how we can write our kingdom and save. You know what? Everybody's bad. All humans are bad. And our spirit will go into these AI robots, what they're trying to do, like the Rockefellers. We'll just project our spirit into these artificial, and then we'll live for it. So we skirt the whole process. Right. Esau gonna try to get into the kingdom either way. Right. Now he's saying, we'll just do it through the robots. Right. You can't kill a robot. Right. The robot is always going, it's mechanical. It can come back, because a lot of characters were dying. Yeah. Some of the characters were dying in the movie, but then they were being restored, right, because you just fix them. Right. It's not like a human. When you die, your spirit is going out the body. You can't bring you back. Right. The robot, they blasted the woman, but they repaired her, right, right, brought her back to life, and then killed her again. Right, right. So that's Esau. The little subliminal is there. It's like, you know what? You know how we can survive all this, the Judgment Day? We'll just be in robots, and they can never kill us. Right. So that was a major twist on the story, that the robots themselves started having spirits themselves, and so much so that they want to go to heaven, because the child kept asking. Another spin about the child was the gender thing. You look at that child, it looks like a boy, right, right, but they kept saying, oh, it's a female. But the female looks like my brain, even though I heard it was a female and I understood that the movie is saying it's a female, my mind kept registering, that's a little boy. That's a little boy.
He looked like the child from the Golden Child.
The Golden Child, right. And that's a girl.
Yeah. And
in real life, that's a girl.
That's a girl.
But he was supposed to be a boy as the Golden Child, but the actress, it was an actress. And that's a girl. Yeah, that's a weird thing too. So it was the same, yeah.
The Golden Child.
Yeah, that Golden Child, right. So another thing is the
Golden Child really was Eddie Murphy.
Right, Khan. He was the
like, I'm the chosen one.
Right, correct. Really, and that was a dual thing, and that's funny because it's the same dynamic. It's like a black man and an Asian child. Right. They're the chosen ones. So they're helping each other be the chosen ones. Right. So another aspect of to get my little spin on their dynamic, I believe they were both. Another layer of it was they were both H.O.I. Right. They were both H.O.I.s in their own way. Right. The child was a H.O.I figure as H.O.I as a kid. Right. Because you know H.O.I when he was a child, he had prominence. Like people came to watch him. He was like how they're making a big deal out of this kid. H.O.I as a child would be preaching even at a young age. So this. He was like that version of a child version of H.O.I. He was birthed in his birth caused a clamor with the high society, where this child AI, his existence is causing a clamor amongst the hierarchy. Right. And then David Washington was the adult H.O.I. Right. So you had two H.O.I figures simultaneously. Right. So Denzel Washington's figure, he ends up, of course, being sacrificed. Right, so, and then at the end, the child liberates so it's like they were dual H.O.I.s. He died, but then came back. His death resulted in the liberation in his return. So his death and return happened simultaneously.
Right, because remember when H.O.I was crucified,
right.
He died as a sacrifice for Israel's sin.
Right, Khan.
And then he's going to be resurrected to deliver us.
Right, Khan.
So the duality of H.O.I. Khan. That's why I said the whole dynamic of the mother, the Asian mother,
right.
Denzel's son, and the child. That's all the H.O.I.
Khan. Yeah, all H.O.I. Khan.
7 different layers.
Khan. It's like exactly 7 for completion of all H.O.I. energy. And am I forgetting anything? Because I feel like I want to say something else, but I kind of wrapped it up with how it ended. It'll come back to me. Yeah, it's gonna come up in camps. Right. But the overall thing is to close it out, my little 2 cents is that Esau is always in his movies. We say it every year. They at least have 3 or 4 or 5 apocalyptic movies where Esau has to survive this apocalypse. Right. Oh yeah, this is my final point. It came back to me. I say this movie can also go into the mark of the beast. Right. Because I'm not going to say this is a doctrine. I'm saying just something to think about. That the mark of the beast would be, if you think about anything that it could be, not relegating it to a little chip, because that's, as you can see, this movie transcends a chip by leaps and bounds. The chip ain't nothing. The chip, you can eat that like an M&M. Yeah. That ain't nothing. The technology can be so advanced, as you see all these little technological things in this movie. Even the watching the movie itself, where you have a full panoramic screen that wraps around the movie we watched was Screen X, so it's a panoramic scene where you can see the movie on the sides as well as the front. Yeah, it's like a visual surround sound. Right, perfectly quoted. It's visual.
That was crazy.
A visual, crazy, yeah. Right. Visual surround.
Yeah, I got a clip of that too. We can.
Okay, con. Yeah, send that. Yeah. So, in all this technology, you could say like, the mark of the beast could go into, if you want to break it down as a future prophecy, can go into Esau, because you're seeing it start now. Esau's creating this big technology to the point where reality and artificialness is starting to blur into each other. Yes. So you can make whole Biggie Smalls can drop whole albums now. He's dead. and it sounds like Biggie. They can mimic your. I can take Zabak's voice. There's technologies out there. I can take Zabak's voice and call somebody through this app, and it sounds like you talking to Zabak, but you talking to me. Right. This is some scary stuff.
The AI is like just taking over.
Right.
And it's like you said that transcends any technology.
Right.
The market of beast.
Yeah, Khan.
That's beyond a chip.
Right, Khan.
You know, it's not. Once again, it's not to knock brothers that want to believe in a chip.
Right.
It's fine. It's all good.
It's not a doctrine.
It's not a doctrine. We just respectfully disagree.
Right.
Because brothers don't get so, the mark of the beast is AI.
Right.
What I'm saying is so much technology beyond the mark of the beast.
Right.
It's like it transcends.
Right. That ain't nothing.
Some fake stuff now. Like
yeah.
I can make, like, you know what they're saying now? They're saying delete every app off your phone and just get AI.
Khan.
AI is going to be doing everything.
It's going to cover everything.
So that transcends upon any technology.
Right.
So I said, like, it's not a doctrine, but it's something to look at. If you want to even break down the mark of the beast to something physical, there's technology that's got light years on it.
Right, Khan.
Which has been out since
that's Eminem. They'll laugh. Yeah, they'll laugh at that's old shit. The chip is them a dinosaur.
Right.
So yeah, I'm saying the mark of the beast could be in levels that you don't even know. If it's going to be anything, and I'm just pondering a thought. I'm not saying this is what it is, but it's just worth to think about.
Right.
That ultimately, when you think about it, what is the mark of the beast meaning? Why would the Most High warn us about this?
Right.
Because our spirit, what they were trying to show you in this movie, us, we're the chosen ones, are them robots.
Right.
And Esau is kind of letting you know that okay, we can. I know. Right. Esau is kind of letting you know that okay, well, we can have robots so strong that they'll have souls.
Right.
Like we'll make the robots almost like religious figures. The robots are we can make Jesus as an AI. And people, so that's what I'm getting at. Where that could be the right. Yeah, that could be the going into the mark of the beast, where Esau creates his AI world, and you can say, no, Yahushua is in this machine right now, and we go in this machine, and you see, and it could be like what the Israelites want. It could be a black Yahushua, and we start worshiping that, but that ain't Yahushua. Esau made that up. So it's worth it. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because it's just something to think about.
Create it into a doctrine.
Right. You don't want to. I don't want to create it to a doctrine, but it's something that's happening realistically, happening now. Imagine 20 years from now, where y'all Israelites want to see Yahushua? Put this app on put this goggles on. It's going to be a black man coming in a robe, but he's in the Matrix. Right. They can have it how you want him. Okay, you want him to be black? We'll get a Wesley Snipes with a big white beard, and y'all sit there and get down on your knees, and that could be like the real Most High is like, hell no. That's he got you tricked with that one, because you visually getting the stimulation you want. You would have camps within.
It would deceive the very elect.
God, you would have camps within the damn AI. It's like, no, I'm AI. Yo, I'm Israel AI. We are camping in the Matrix. Y'all gotta come. It could go. That's why I don't want to go too far the rabbit hole, because it's just something to think about. So I'll wrap it up with that, and I'll let Zabak, he gonna expound and then close it out. But yeah, this movie, the creator was something, and those are a few of my points. But it's worth checking out. It goes in. Esau did it again. It goes into deepness with always the apocalypse, how the world's going to end. Somehow he gets saved. Like I said, this one was a spin. He wanted the rope. He said, I'm gonna off myself, and no, we'll just go into the robots. He said, look, we'll live on through them. So yeah, we got you in this one. Yeah, we all gonna die, but the robots are gonna be here. You can't kill them, right? Esau is a slickster. I'll yield the floor to Zabak and let him do his thing.
No, I just got one more. I just got one more point. And we can wrap it up on that.
Right.
Another simple but deep layer.
Right.
To look at that also. They made society almost feel like we as a people are robots.
We're
like sheep led to the slaughter.
Come.
So we're like robots. They're like, oh, Like the robot said, the niggas are our slaves.
Right,
They don't do anything. They're our robots.
Right.
They do anything for us.
Right.
They do anything we tell them.
Right.
Right. We're the ones with no soul and spirit.
Right.
But they're docile. They're stupid. They're our slaves.
Right.
They worship us. They bow down to us. They do anything we tell them.
Right.
We basically created them through slavery and the Willie Lynch. Letter.
Good point.
The Willie Lynch theory. Right? But they're the ones really with the soul,
right? And
they're the ones that the kingdom is going to really go to.
Good cherry on top. Good cherry on top. I gotta expound on that real quick. When beautiful point. I didn't even think about that because you gotta kind of. That's why I said before we even left the theater. I said you gotta kind of peel the layers back and chew this up a little bit. There's a lot to bite into. But during slavery, of course, everyone that knows anything about slavery know it was a dehumanizing thing, which H.O.I is dehumanized beings. They try to almost make you a robot to where you do what I want you to do. You don't have any thought, any opinion. I don't even want you having an opinion. We always joke about this at camp, like, Massa, Josephus went west. Right. Boy, who learned you about West? How you know a direction? They don't even want you to know where a direction is.
They made us into robots.
Right. So to tie in with the movie, still, and we were broken. We still broken today. You can look around you and see we're broken, still broken, almost lost all our culture and humanity and so many different things. But the spirit never died. So the good tie-in that I didn't even think about, that the spirit had you utter it, speak it, that kind of tied in what I was kind of saying earlier, that the robots had souls. The robots wanted to go to heaven.
Right.
The robots the robots didn't want Denzel's son to die.
Right.
They had almost spirits, and that's like us. They had feelings. Like us. We were broken down into machines that work in these cotton fields, but they could not take our spirit away, and just like in the movie, they never could take the spirit from the robot.
Right.
So
Said Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he sounds so much like him.
Right. Remember the song says, "I know you got soul."
Right.
Rakim.
Right.
I know you got soul. Spirit, soul, they could never take.
Right.
They basically made us into zombies and robots and slavery. And the AI said that. He said they made us into slaves. They made us into our people are robots for Esau and his system. But even deep down inside, the robots got the soul.
Right.
And the kingdom, they're the spiritual people, and heaven is meant for them. The kingdom of heaven is meant for them.
Clever Esau about making it into the robots into the ones with the spirits.
Right. So, all praise to you. How about Shema Mashiach Yahushua? Kwame Ashala, we still got next pre-Sabak, H.O.I to the Chariots Fly signing off. The Creator, Artificial Intelligence, or Army of Israel?
Right,
you be the judge, Israel.
Shema Mashiach.
We already know what it is. Kwame Ashala, we still got next. Hallelujah. Bring it out. All the camps in Yahweh Shai. All throughout the four corners of the earth. H.O.I pull up boys. H.O.I to the Chariots Fly. Forever and ever. Amen. Check it out. Comment. Let us know what you think. Don't get simple. Why you going to that? You go into it.
Why brothers paying for that?
Why brothers paying for that? Check out the movie. Leave your comments and everything. Let us know.
And like you always say, oh, y'all brothers missed this.
Right.
That's what the comments for you to add that.
Right.
We probably missed a whole lot of stuff.
All praise to God. We didn't miss it.
Right.
Just the time permitted, we didn't go into it.
Right.
We're going into it in future camps and comments. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Kwame Ashala. Still got next. Signing off pre-Sabak.
Brother Nala.
Another commentary, The Creator.
Right.
AI or Army of Israel?
Kwame Ashala.
Shalom.
Wow.